Hmm. Are you echoing your name? Are you echoing your name? Hey, hey. Oh, oh. Mm. Wow, that was really interesting. Hello, everyone. This is Tammy Lee. I guess you know that, right? Hello, everyone. Welcome to today. Make shift happen. Wow, there's some really interesting energies that are really coming through all of a sudden. For those of you that are new to me, I'm Tammy Lee, an accelerated intuitive way shower, working with energy medicine, helping to call back fragmented soul pieces for people, helping souls to actually transmute, transform as we call back these fragmented pieces of ourselves. I also help to souls to that are stuck here to go back home. As we were coming on here, as we're going live, I just heard this. Are you calling back your name? Are you calling yourself back home? Are you calling yourself back home? Are you calling yourself back home? See, whenever we go into, well, whenever we sleep, we could go into dream time. We could traverse through different areas that we may not be aware of. When we go in a grocery store, we can actually leave aspects of ourselves in the grocery store. When we have an opinion about something, and sometimes it's really strong, or maybe we can literally leak energy out of ourselves when um, we share our opinion, especially if it's really strong. When we say yes, when we mean a no, we leak energy. We fragment ourselves. It's like we all need to hear this again. Where are you saying a yes when you really don't want to? When you really feel a no? However, you make that compromise with self, or you rationalize with self, with you, in order to make it okay to go through and say yes. When deep down there's like, no. I had to learn this myself, everyone. Ladies, I had to learn this myself of how much I was doing, of how much I was taking on when my spirit, my emotional body, my mental capacity was drained, and tired, yet I couldn't let it go. Going to a doctor, driving 3 hours one way just to have him help me through so much of my life, like in my early 50s. He was exactly what I needed. He was a saving grace. Yet, if I would have had somebody to tell me, Tammy, you're taking on too much for yourself, and then show me what those pieces are and where I could decide to maybe let go of some of these things and how they were not serving me. So I want you to think about that. What in your life right now, just one thing, three is great, but if you can find one thing What is not serving me right now? Is there a push you have to get something done or created? Or are you saying yes when your spirit is saying no? Will you please take care of me? Like your spirit is asking you to take care of you. One of the things I've been doing lately is completely redoing, like redoing a room in my house. And I don't mean like, I guess you would call it spring cleaning, but there's a deeper energy with it. There's a deeper, like a rearrangement of different things energetically, setting it up to where it's more inviting, like it's even inviting people in, it's inviting energy in. So, what can you do? Where are you at in your life right now to where, aha, hi, Alice. So glad you're joining today, where you can create your own sanctuary within your home, even if it's a corner of your bedroom or a corner of a different room. That's how I had to do it when I was raising our 5 children. I didn't have a special place, a special room to call my own. I had to create a little corner in my bedroom. If that's how you have to start, then start. Us women take on so much that actually does not even um, does not even yeah, I'm getting distracted a little bit here. Okay, so us women take on so much that doesn't even support us, that doesn't help us to grow and expand. And that's where sometimes, how many of you get angry at just the little tiniest of thing? I've been noticing it. I've been getting angry lately, like getting triggered a lot easier. So I'm looking at this and how come I'm getting triggered easier? Is it because other people aren't stepping up and doing their thing? Or is it because I'm not taking care of me? You know what, ladies? I'm not kidding you. Me taking care of me, whether it is a bath, whether it is a massage, whether it is, man, I just really want to straighten up this room and it looks so nice and crisp and oh, and there's a spot. Oh, I think I have a picture. I know there's something in this house that will go right there on that spot. I just know it. I don't know what it is in the moment. And 3 days later, I find it. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's what goes right there in that spot. Hang it up. I did that this morning. Hung it up like, oh, yeah. Well, there was a missing piece. See, there's missing pieces of us within our environment, missing soul pieces also that are hanging out, wanting to come back home. Now, some of you that have worked with me before, you know this process of echoing our name. So whenever we go someplace, whenever we've had even a heated argument, whenever we've had like somebody else could actually trying to be siphoning off our energy. We reclaim it. We reclaim it. We echo our name, meaning for women. our first name, our middle name, our mother's maiden name, our maiden name, and then your last name or whatever it is. We need to reclaim our energy. Once we continue to do this, because okay, so right before I got on here, I just finished up a call with one of my clients. And I heard this voice saying, reclaim, reclaim, reclaim your energy, Tammy. So it's just a gentle reminder coming through for all of you also. Are you reclaiming your energy? Now, how you want to do this is you just take a deep breath and you have this intention. Intention could be the same thing as a prayer. That's how I learned about the word intention. Is this is actually a funny story. Okay, I'll tell you that in a moment. So, intention and prayer. So remind me if I forget. It's quite hilarious. So, wherever we are, even when we wake up, reclaim your energy. I've been kind of tired this morning. And what I realized is I did not reclaim my energy when I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh, I could have went somewhere in dream time that I don't remember. And I need to pull myself back from there too. Because we actually travel through different dimensions and timelines and realities in our dream time. Okay, so say your first name. I'll just practice with you right now as I say my Tammy Lee Willard Huff Shoemaker. So yeah, I already set the intention that I am reclaiming all of my energy, all the fragments of who I am that desire to come back home right now, here. With that intention, with my breath down in my heart space. Yes. And I close all the windows and doors. Sometimes we have little windows and doors we leave open where energy can escape and other energies can come in. And not to scare you or anything, but some people slime us with their energy and they might not know it. So what does sliming mean? Sliming could be, because I caught myself doing this and didn't even know I was doing it in the moment. So I know this guy because I helped take care of his wife while she was actually in the process of dying. And 2 years ago. And he was belligerent. He was very not nice. Okay, we'll just say he was very not nice. And even yelled at his wife for being sick because he was tired of blah, 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 blah. Okay, so then within 2 months, she's gone. And I would drive by his house because that's just one of the roads I can take going to town. And every time I drove by, I'm like, I would think things like, it's your fault she's dead. If you would have been nicer, this would not have happened. Like, it's like, I would think those things. And then one day I'm driving by there and it just like dawns on me. I'm like, oh, I've been sliming him with my energy, with these thoughts. Because I'm saying it really nice to how I was thinking it. Just being honest with you, girls. We all do it. Not to beat ourselves up, just to catch ourselves when we do it. Just to catch ourselves when we do it. Okay? Like, oh, so what I did is I had the intention again. Intention is everything. And then I thought of this man and I'm just like I visualized him in front of me and I'm just pulling all my energy back. I'm bringing it all back to me, and and with the clear intention that it's cleaned. Okay. One of the things how I do that is I put white flames around me. White flames are a very high frequency that cleanses, very high vibrational energy of white flames. I wrap around me as I'm pulling back my energy so nothing else is stuck to it. Sometimes I even see, like I'm seeing right now, a gold flecks within the white flames. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know I just burped, but that also means that energy is moving. Something's really going on here. I'm like we're moving energy for other people too, ladies, whether you're listening to this live or on the replay. So, okay. Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you a funny story about intuition. Okay, so years ago, oh my gosh, this was 2003. No way. Yeah, April 2003. Um, I listened to this lady. She's talking about a mastermind. And like, I didn't really travel that much. So that's almost 20, that's 19 years ago. So I didn't travel as much as what I have since then. 20 years ago. Let's see, my daughter. Oh, yeah, my youngest one was still at home. She's like 13, 14. Oh, I had two kids still at home. So yeah, I didn't travel as much as I do now. So I still had two girls at home. And I went to Florida because one of the things I found this book and I wanted to go listen to. It's called then I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, I wanted to go listen to these two speakers because that book really helped to shift things in me and around me. And one of this, so the authors were there. That's a whole nother story. But one of the speakers they brought in was this woman. And she was talking about a mastermind. And she's talking about intuition. And these are all new words for me. So think about this. 19 years ago, I am, help me out, girls. So I'm 60 right now. Let's just say 20. So I'm like 49. I'm 40. So around that time frame of me turning 40, I'm still a stay-at-home mom. I have little odd jobs, but on a farm in Kansas that doesn't go anywhere hardly. So these are new words. And when growing up, there was a real stigma about not being in a cult. That was a big word back then in the 70s and 80s for us around here. So this woman, fast forward to April 2003. Janet's her name. She's speaking from the stage and she's creating this mastermind, and you can join her mastermind and intention. And she's using these words I've never heard. I did sign up for this mastermind because how she presented it just seemed amazing. And I'd be with other people that think bigger than what I'm used to. So to elevate myself, possibly. And I get home and I have these papers and I'm going through them and I'm like, did I just join a cult mastermind? Oh my gosh, they're going to be messing with my mind. Oh my gosh. and they're all masters and I'm not. And I just intuition, what is that? Or intention. Intention, what is that? So, I mean, and this is only 20 years ago, right? People like they see me today and how I talk and how I am, they think maybe sometimes they think that I grew up like this. No, I came into this. So, hey, Carol. So it's good to see you here. So I literally sat down and I cried. I thought, oh my God, I just think I joined a cult by signing up for this mastermind. So I'm ferociously just with so much anxiety messaging this woman, Janet. I don't know. Did I just sign up for a cult? Blah, blah, blah. I've never heard the word mastermind. I've never heard the word intention. Oh, yeah, right? On all this energy was just like bubbling up in me. And I probably was sliming, but didn't know it. This woman actually called me and she walked me through it. Tammy, remember Jesus had a mastermind? He had the disciples. We just call them disciples, but he had a mastermind. Like, oh, okay. He taught them special things. That's what masterminds do. Oh, okay. And then she goes on to say, intention? You could say that's like a prayer. I'm like, oh, okay. But see how I had to have new verbiage come into my life to wake me up to a different level and actually had the right and perfect person in my life. This woman cared enough to call me and walk me through all of my fears because I had an old idea, an old construct, an old belief. See what I'm getting to? An old belief that was not serving me, that was keeping me locked down from seeing something even more beautiful. Do you follow me what I'm saying here? So we can actually have old beliefs that are not for our highest and greatest good and expansion and acceleration of your spiritual gifts. So a lot of my gifts. So I worked for a company for almost 10 years, pretty much 10 years in the corporate world, being a top salesperson in for broadband, which is internet and phone through fiber. Really? Who would have thunk of that? I'm like, I don't know why the universe sent me here. And I wasn't even looking for a job. They asked me to come work for them because the owner adored my character. He's now passed. And the only way, so see, okay, so this book that made me go to Florida to listen to this book, because one of the exercises in it, the 1 Minute Millionaire, the Enlightened Way to Wealth. Thank you. That's the name of it. The 1 Minute Millionaire, the Enlightened Way to Wealth. Okay, because I want to do everything enlightened. Okay, so one of the things was take a millionaire to lunch. Like, I don't know any around here, but I know one guy that I know he's He's got a lot of money. I don't know if he's a millionaire because I don't know. Well, that happened to be the owner of the business that wanted to hire me because I called for to ask him to go to lunch. But you know what, girls? I drove past his office for almost a year because every time I did, I felt like I was going to throw up, and I would just keep on driving. Like, no, I got to take him to lunch. Almost a year that happened. So finally, I just got up the courage. How many times are we so scared? So scared to do something. Yet we know our spirit is calling us. Yet we know that we're meant to do it. Even if we don't understand, but we know that we know we're supposed to do this, right? So I go into his office after almost a year of driving by just to take a millionaire to lunch. I was petrified, ladies. This is 20 years ago. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't think I was worthy of that. I didn't even think this, like, who am I to ask him to go to lunch with me? That's how I thought of myself. Whew. Yeah, there's emotion coming up with that because a lot of women feel that way about themselves in some aspect, some form, somewhere along the line. There's a stream of not good enough that comes to visit us. So I go in and I try to, make an appointment, see if Bob's there, and he's not there. So I leave a message and then he calls me. He says, "So what is it you want, Tammy?" I told him, I'm just me. Well, I'm reading this book, and part of the exercise is to take a millionaire to lunch. And even though I've been driving past your office for almost a year because I'm so nervous, I finally just said, I have to ask you. And he's like, well, you send me an email with the questions you want to ask me, and then I'll let you know. Okay. So right then and there, I did that. And I read, because in this book also gave me all the questions to ask. And then he called me back again. Like, he's calling me. Girls, there are people out there that truly want you, that truly want to be in your presence. They truly want to be in your presence, especially when you're connected to your truth, your power, your essence. Actually, that's it. When you're connected to your truth and your essence of your beingness. Yeah, that's it. So he called me and he left me a message. And then I got scared again. I did not return his phone call for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, I got to call this guy back. See how I had to work through different things? Beliefs, constructs, structures. So I call him back. I leave a message now. I tell him exactly what happened. I'm making no excuses. I got scared. And whatever else I said, And he reaches out to me and he says, I got 30 minutes for you. Not lunch, but I'll give you 30 minutes, Tammy. So we set up a date and a time. And I went into his office of his company and sat down. And I thought I was going to interview him. And instead, he interviewed me. And he found out that we actually buy bulls because he also has a cattle business, but we don't deal with him personally. And he found out that we're a little bit more connected than what we were. And I went to school with his youngest daughter. And he started asking me things. And then he says, you want to come work for us? I had my CEO come in here, Tammy, and listen to your voicemail. And I'm pretty impressed. Will you come work for us? Like, doing what? I don't know yet. I'm going to have you talk to him. They literally created a position for me to come and work for them. Yeah, totally crazy, right? And I was not even looking for a job. But I tell you what, ladies, I ended up being there I was there for 10 years. I worked through so many different things of my own personality and pains and sufferings of within me. It was like that was a training ground. I went into training for 10 years. And my gifts started coming through a little bit more. But it wasn't until I left that job. And I left because after this man passed away, the integrity of the company fell apart. The true nature of people came forth. And I couldn't work there anymore. I just couldn't. It was so out of integrity for me. I miss my direct supervisor, incredible human being. I learned a lot from him. And I think he learned a lot from me too. Because that's also why we are encouraged to say yes when we're asked to show up somewhere. We're encouraged to, just like Joanne just said, pushing through the fear is so powerful. That's why we are asked, if something, like you're asked to show up somewhere, or you're given that homework, or you're given that challenge, or you're like, oh, I don't know, but, or, I don't want to say this, but I need to say this. Because you don't know how that other person is going to react to you. You know, even like when you got these friendships and you think you're friends, and then you really allow yourself to be who you've always wanted to be, and you're not sure, even if that friendship is 20 years old or more, if it's going to last through your growth, your expansion, your acceleration, and you becoming your spiritual, co-creative, magical self of who you came here to be. You don't know if your relationships are going to last through that, because some other people are not doing the work. But you girls are. Whether you're here on live or listening to the replay, you don't know if those relationships will last. And there's a fear associated to that. Sometimes we hide ourselves. Sometimes we hide our gifts. Because if we came full out, these other relationships might break away. And I will tell you, ladies, I know it can be hard and it can be emotional, but when you allow those relationships to break away, you rise up like the phoenix from the ashes. You literally can. You literally do. You rise up like the phoenix from the ashes with a new vibrancy, with a new a new frequency. Somebody's supposed to be hearing this. Wow, the energy on that one is strong. It's not just me needing to hear this. So allow those. I know it can be heart-wrenching. I know this personally. But when we do, when we allow these other relationships to break away, to burn away that old energy, new, profound, unexplainable relationships will start to come forward towards you. Sometimes beyond your imagination. I have discovered such amazing beings, such amazing humans in my life in the last few years that I never knew existed. I also, okay, what was this? There was a thread here. Where's the thread again? Looking for that thread of energy. Well, that's really interesting. Huh. Okay. Maybe this was it, part of it. When I, for 2 years before I actually quit my job at this company, I heard voices. I heard the Tammy, it's time. Tammy, it's time. It's time to go. It's time to go. I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to make money? I was all up in my head instead of in my heart, instead of in my body. I was trying to think of, I was trying to make sense of it. I was trying to think my way through it instead of feel my way through it. Instead of feel my way through it. This is another gem, women, to be in that heart, to be in our body as we feel through a decision, as we feel through what wants to happen. And it's okay to take time. See, there's this whole mindset of, well, it comes, you better do it. You better do it now because that's what the universe wants, is for you to do it now. Wow. I wished, okay, cancel that. I got caught up in that too. And even when things didn't feel right, my body was trying to tell me, it's not the right time, Tammy. And I did not always listen. And now I'm starting to hear, to listen, to adhere to what I'm hearing more, to listen more. Because, like right now, okay, like do you ever question why the universe has you, your spirit has you doing certain things? Like, I don't know why, but like, I'm craving planting flowers, or I'm craving, like right now, I'm craving, like I have this internal energy that keeps on going of creating really uh, welcoming space in our home to either move out certain things, such as a big sectional we had downstairs. So where that sectional was, I created new space. Oh, it feels so good when I walk downstairs. I'm like, oh yeah, I just want to come hang out here. I just want to come hang out here. Yeah, baby. And I'm like, wow, even this space feels so delicious. Even the house. Like, okay, keep on going, Tammy, keep on going. So like the living room, like these parts of my home is calling me. Instead of sitting at the computer creating another program. So in my head, I'd be saying, oh, but I need to create this program so I can do this and this and this. It's like, no, my whole system. It's like I'm learning to listen to my whole system. What things, ladies, are you doing because you think you have to? What are you doing because you think you have to? It's here instead of in the body. And sometimes I don't understand why. Like, but I just do it. Like, okay, well, I'm putting these chairs over here. I'm putting the area rug over there, and oh wow, that looks really good. I'm like, I don't even, but I'm being guided. I'm being literally guided, and I just keep on doing it. And then I got a message from somebody saying, "Do you ever do workshops on your home? Do you ever do like maybe like a night on the farm to look at the starlights? The stars are incredible out here. The stars are just stunning. I never thought about that. Or maybe I kind of sort of thought about it, but didn't know how to make it work and happen. And because when we pay attention to what our bodies are saying to us, girls, yeah, right? When we're listening to what our bodies are saying to us, and we follow through with that, there is a bigger picture that wants to unfold for you. There's something bigger that wants to unfold for you. And it's just wondering, can I trust her to do the work? And the work could be rearranging the living room. How many times? Okay, because it can be that simple. It can be that simple that that is our calling for the moment. I was so racked for decades of what's my gifts? What am I here to do? And I thought it had to be this big audacious thing because that's what I grew up around. That's what I listened to. And I listened to everything out there versus what's in here. What is in here that's trying to speak to you in your body, darlings? What is within you that wants you to hear it speak? Okay, so let's go to the messages. Joanne says, pushing through the fear is so powerful. Thanks for the story. I can feel, I can so feel, all caps, the growth in the past 2 years. Thanks to all you sisters. Alice, it is really hard to stay in my heart with the way the world is going today. I need to block out what is happening around me to get there. Alice, I agree. Some of the things, I do not watch TV. Every now and then I'll watch a movie, but we do not have cable. We've never had cable out here at the farm. We've never had dish. We never had none of that. There's no newspapers. Yes, we can find it every now and then. And I'll tell you what, I can tell when my husband's listening to too much on the computer. Now that he knows how to find things. And one of our daughters said, Mom, I think Dad's been watching too much Fox News on the computer. I can tell when he shifts. Not good. I'm like, sometimes I'll just say, you need to stay off the computer. It's affecting you. So do you have those people around you that can be honest with you in regards to that? That's another piece of this. So Alice, instead of, I need to block out, instead of blocking out what is happening, do what brings you joy. What is it that your spirit wants to create? What is it that if you did one thing that you would be like, oh, wow, look at the beauty there. Just one thing. Oh, there's a lot of energy with that one. When we stay in our hearts, we can also send everybody else the love from this heart space. Because just think of everybody else that's not in their hearts. And we can emanate that frequency, that vibrational vibrancy from ourselves when we stay in our heart space, when we stay in our bodies, when we stay within ourselves. Does that help a little bit, Alice? Because that's really where our magic is. And that's why, part of why things are going on out there to keep us away from this peace within us. Is that, you get what I'm saying? Like those bigger powers that are creating the havoc, they don't want us in our hearts because they know that is where a lot of our magic lies. They know that is where we're connected with our spirit and our essence, and that we will be shown truth. And the way we should move and what's right for us. I'm so blessed to live where I live. Joanne says, boy, trusting oneself and the universe, no matter what, can be challenging until it's not. And then miracles happen. I believe we are all walking, talking miracles, ladies. We are all walking, talking miracles. I expect miracles. I believe in miracles. And I see miracles. And I think each and every one of you are a miracle. My pleasure, Alice. My pleasure. I'm here for you if you need a little extra boost. What a beautiful way to end this. Wow. Thank you for that, ladies. I needed to hear that just as much as delivering it. We're walking, talking miracles. I believe we all are. We just got to get out of our own way. Yeah. That was one heck of a transmission, huh, Alice? Joanne? Carol? All you other ladies that are listening to the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love to you. So much love to you. You matter. You really matter. I believe in you. Cheers, everyone. Until next time.